Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Brickyard here at Indianapolis, where today we'll be racing the Battle at the Brickyard 200 for the GC Sports B Custom Series. My name is Terry, and I'll be taking you through the action this evening, and I'll be joined by Mr. Travis' son as an in-race supporter for this race. Now,
Hey, how's it going?
it is going absolutely splendid on my end. So, as we look ahead to the race this evening, 80 laps around the 2.5 mile rectangle. Four corners, all the same, 90-degree turns, about 9 degrees of banking if I remember correctly. Stage is going to be broken up about 24, 22, and somewhere in the 30s is the last stage. I don't have it off the top of my head. And it'll be a very interesting, in the way of strategy, definitely. As the customs, you'll have guys definitely messing with their gear ratios, going for save gears, going for more speed down the straightaways, going for just about everything that you can think of with the different driving styles of this track. And you'll also see a lot of pack racing just about with how this track favors the draft, especially down the two long straightaways in between turns 4 and 1 and turns 2 and 3. But also watch out for the short shoots, as getting in and out of 2 and 4 will be key in the rest of your lap heading down those long straightaways. Now, as we look to the drivers in this field, we'll start with the points leader, Private Patton, coming in with a solid championship points lead over Country Caliber by over 50 points, in fact. Daha is in third, right behind, only 1 point behind you. Well, tonight it will be the 95. Most Country's been in the 11 most of the season, but tonight he is having a wardrobe malfunction, I guess you should say. DB the best in fourth at 480, and then the Guardian 7 points behind him in P5. Tiller, Jose, and Shackett round out the top 8, and then your top 10 will be Street Machine and Long Live the Sauce. And a lot of very close battles as you go throughout this grid. As mentioned before, Country Caliber, Daha, DB, and Guardian, and Tiller are all within 12 points of each other. And Jose a couple points off of that. The battle for 12th in points between Hunty and Blaney, within 3 points of each other. Travesty and Mr. Bridges himself, about 4 points in between. And then the back three, Ward, Burr, Robbie Race, and Rubham, separated by just 6 points. As we look ahead, it is 8:04. We'll be getting going in just a couple of minutes time here. I should now be able to run down the starting lineup for tonight's race. As we'll quickly get a look here. And it's Jose Protege, the number 4 car, on the pole, followed by Blaney and Country Caliber, all running 50.3s and 50.4s. P4 will go to Hunty Wild, and P5 will go... Well, I can't figure out who's P5, so we're just going to stop with the top 4. Because, yeah. So, Travis, if you don't mind telling me when y'all are in the loading screen so I can get in to the race. Thank you very much.
Yep, 5th place is Private Patton.
Alright, thank you. 5th place, Private Patton. 6th place, the Guardian in the 1 car. P7, Warpig, who... Is that his debut for B Customs this season?
He's been racing for a few weeks now.
I never saw him in the points, so that's why I'm asking. P8 DB, P9 Tiller, P10 Street Machine, P11 Rub, and yeah, that's about as far as I feel like going down.
Yep.
Alright, so it looks like we might be going a bit longer as
Good luck to all drivers tonight.
good old good luck message from good old Paul Bear, giving a good luck to all drivers. Thank you. Sir, honestly kind of miss you being involved with GC in some capacity. Hope you'll be able to make a return at some point down the line, as my cat is now currently attacking me. This is great.
Alright, you can join in the lobby now.
Alright, thank you. Quick blue screen here as we get into the festivities this evening. Alright. As we'll get loaded up here. It'll be interesting to see what will happen on the restart. Inside line definitely has the advantage here at Indianapolis. But you could see some guys try to hold around the outside at the start. And some people definitely attempt to. And we could see some calamity happen. Meanwhile, Jose Protege will lead the field down to the line. Green flag is out and we're racing at the Brickyard. Jose gets to jump on Blaney, but will Blaney actually be able to file in the line as we head down to turn one? No, he won't. But Country has a slow entrance through turn one, and Blaney will get clear for P2. Hunty will actually get clear for P3 out around the outside of 95. As Jose Protege takes control of the lead. And now you see the cars fan out as much as you can. See a couple lines form, but now as they dive down to turn three, Blaney drives it in a bit deeper than Jose. Can't really make it work. And now you'll see him just ride along, and that's what most of the front of the field's doing. In fact, the top 5 and 6 all just in a line. But now Blaney ducks it to the inside. Hunty drafted him. Country Caliber drafted him. And Blaney will take the lead of the race on lap 2. Battle's going on further back. I believe Tiller and DB going side by side for P7, and Tiller actually slides up there. Relinquishing P7 to DB, and now causing the battle back behind him. With him in the 18, that is Daha. And Daha will actually take the spot from him. Straight machine up in the wall. He gets up in the wall a bit, and we'll drop a few places. Meanwhile, back up at the front of the field, we'll look now as Blaney still leads that single file line. And it's actually got about maybe half a car length to Hunty, maybe even a full car length you could fit in there. Through the first two corners, very nice job, and now Hunty will pull right back up to him, just as many times you'll see that here at Indianapolis. As now they dive into the corner. Hunty a bit high, maybe going for a bit of a better run into the short chute, try to set up a move down to turn 4 here. But he will keep it. Jose Protege in private pad now a bit off of Country Caliber, as it looked like for a second Hunty was going to make a move. Country Caliber is still trying to look for a spot to get around the front two, but he'll settle back in line for the moment. Meanwhile, Warpick has dropped off the top 5 and is now dropping back to the grasp of the rest of the field, which would be Daha, DB, and Tiller. And now Blaney blocking Hunty as they going down to the middle line. They'll all file back up and then dive it back down to turn 3 right here. As Jose tries to make a move. Looked like he was going to try to dive it on a 95 here, but didn't get enough distance. Didn't even really get side by side with him. So position stays where it's at. And now they'll just get back to single file drafting. Oh, meanwhile, back in this field, it's side by side, two deep, battle for 6th and 8th going on, nearly 3 wide, entering the corner behind Warpig. Daha will make a move for P6, and now Tiller with Warpig in the wall. He'll make a dive. Guardian makes a dive. DB makes a dive, and they should all just about get around the 19, although the 19 will now have a draft and will at least remain side by side, enter in turn 3. Long left the Sauce now in the 21. He thinks about it, can't really get the car to stick, so he'll just remain behind everyone. Well, now he'll go to the inside in the 19 and make it work. The 88 a rub right behind him. And that's where we'll leave that off. Back up front, still Blaney your leader, as he's led a solid chunk of laps now, as the rest of the top 5 has sort of just filed in and rode around behind him. No one's made a super serious attempt at a move yet. We're looking at Private Pan right now in the 12 car. And oh, hard hit Tiller hard in the wall. And he'll come back up onto the track, and there's maybe a caution. Can I get?
Yeah, we got a caution.
All right, first caution of the evening coming out for Tiller with a hard hit to the inside wall out of turn 2. What lap are we on?
We are going to have about 17 laps to go when we go back under green.
Alright, well, about 17 to go when we get back to green flag racing at Indianapolis. So that will take out any last thought of making a green flag pit stop here in this stage. It'll be a straight run to the end at this point on. As now we'll load it back up. Blaney on the inside, Country Caliber on the outside, Hunty in P3 behind him, and GTR Jose Protege P4. We are back underway in Indianapolis. Blaney will lead him down, and he'll get a real nice jump now. Hunty will slot into effective P2. No, Country Caliber is able to sneak his way back in there. Protege trying to hold around the outside of Patton now, but I don't think he'll be able to have the grip around that outside line. And now he'll slot back into P5. Now side by side for a bit further down the pack. As you see, guys like Tiller and Sauce trying to make moves down the inside. And those moves will be made. The Guardian has made his way up to P6 after starting going backwards in the first run. So already a solid recovery from that poor start from him. Meanwhile, new chapter, same book. Well, same book, same chapter. Blaney leads this race at Indianapolis. And I need to stop making dumb references like I'm an English teacher. Anyways, back to racing. As the front 4 just nose to tail entering turn 3, and oh, a huge dive. Guardian's way up the track. Just about tasted the turn 3 wall, and he'll lose a whole bunch of spots. Meanwhile, the 18 now underneath the 20, and he gets by him, in fact. That is Daha now back into P6, where he spent a lot of that first run in. But now, there goes Sauce and Guardian making him dive. Sauce will get one of the two. He'll get DB. He doesn't have enough space to get to Daha. Now Guardian back up the inside of DB the best. And they're both a bit high on the groove, but DB being higher, he'll just relinquish his spot. And now Sauce just goes flying off. And he is around in.
Oh, I'm in it.
Tags the 3 of Travesty, who is with us here. And I believe they're still racing.
Yep, no
with
question.
A single car incident coming out of turn 2. Second time we've had a car spin out of there. Now as we look back up towards the front, Country Caliber's got a bit of distance to Blaney, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a move unless he dies it in right here. which he will not. They will just keep single file just about. Taylor's trying to make moves through the field again, though. Gets around Street Machine, is now working on the 20 of DB. But that's really the only action I've seen. War Pig up in the wall out of turn 2. As you look once again back up towards the front, still single file. And we'll take it to the backwards cam for the first time this evening as, well, there's a move from Guardian as he gets around Dub Hub, back up to P6 for the 1 car. And you have a feeling Guardian will have a chance to run with those top 5 after the next break in the action, as he has sliced through the field twice now in this run alone to get up to P6. So, brilliant job from him. And it's now seemingly pulling away from the rest of them. As we'll get out of the cam. And look back, still nothing really changing up front, although Country Caliber is slightly high in the corner. But nothing will come of that. El Hunty is a bit high out the corner. Patton looked like he wanted to take advantage of it, but he cannot, ultimately. And that's just the whole thing with this track is you're living and dying by the draft. If you're not sitting in there, you're going to lose spots pretty much 9 times out of 10 unless there's a wreck to your outside on the long straightaways. So, I'm sure they'll get more racy as the run goes on, and we'll also see who has the better long run car in all this, because right now the group's just been sitting and not really been going aggressive. I think when you get a couple of cars making runs at it, you'll be able to see who's fast and who's not. Tiller was high in turn 3. He's now dropped back behind D, be the best, and is now trying to fend off the 5 of Street Machine. Yes, that's his name.
You have 10 laps to go in the stage.
Alright, 10 laps to go on stage, so I think drivers at this point starting to think about making their move. I don't think they're going to go after it just yet unless the driver in front of them makes a mistake. But now the 2 through 5, all back on off of Blaney.
Top commentator on Right Here, Bird.
Thank you for the compliment as we get, but we'll head straight back into the action as Country Caliber is slowly ending up on Blaney. We'll see if he can make a move right here. They all go low, but they'll just rejoin the line and get back at it. As Country, is he making a move here? He's lower to Blaney. He has the better corner, but once again, he just doesn't have the space to really make a move yet. And it's still about to. Oh, Blaney's hard off the wall. He's flying into the infield wall. That's a huge wreck. Oh, hard hit for him and I will have to imagine something will have to come out. I don't think it's going to come out though. I think everyone kept it
no
straight.
caution.
Everyone except 22 kept it straight, even the 18 somehow, despite having a harder T-bone than half the wrecks on Wreckfest. So, with that absolutely huge error from the 22, Country Caliber now takes the lead with Hunty back behind him in P2. Private Patton rounds out your podium at the moment with the pole setter Jose Protege looking in, and now Patton makes a huge move. Dives it down for second. Can he go for the double? No, he cannot. Private Patton up into P number 2 over Hunty Wild. Right on board with the 12 as he pushes the 95 into the corner. As he looks like he's letting off a bit more than 95 entering the corner. Now we'll see if and that will give him more runs on the exits here. Although that time I think he has to let off a bit more. 95's getting up a bit high. Patton with a run. Does he take it? No, he'll just decide to push. And the two behind him will do the same. Now Patton turn one. I think it's under 95. Here we go. First rail battle for the lead in this race. Meanwhile, P3 also having a battle, and that's going to bring the Guardian in the one right back up into this fight. Hunte nearly in the wall. They actually just had to swerve it to avoid the wall. The Guardian dives down really low, trying to see if he can capitalize off the mistake and grab P4, and I think he's going to have the position to do it. Private Patton will maintain the lead and now get a decent distance as meanwhile side by side battle for one of the midfield spots as Street Machine gets loose out the corner, and the Guardian with a huge hit in the wall, and he goes backwards and is now back a couple spots again. And Hunte must have also been involved in something, because now he's slow and way back. What happened now in turns 3 and 4 that they just both ended up way far back? Well, maybe one of the two will give us an answer at the end of the race if they make their way back to their field, or someone else will. We will see. Now that's split up the top three a little bit. I think Jose might be able to get back to country, and those two might be able to run down Patton, depending on how many laps we have left here in the stage. That was a question.
I'll let you know when I get across the line.
All right. So now Patton diving in with a fairly comfortable lead. Now we'll be able to look back elsewhere in the pack, and we'll see now. Hunte trying to make up spots. He'll try to get around.
5 to go.
5 to go in the stage. Hunte's trying to get around Justin Shack and Travesty back in the field. And Travesty, Travesty wrecks. Hunte, I believe, is also around. He's mowing some lawns back there. And we will still remain green. And now that is absolutely insane. Oh, Jose off the wall as well, trying to catch up to the 95. Meanwhile, we look at the Guardian once again as he's trying to make a go at Tiller, and right behind him the 88 of Rub making a run at the 19 of Warpig. A lot of dual battles happening here. Who can run the line better? Who could defend? Who could block? This is what Indianapolis is all about when it comes to a one-on-one situation with the driver behind. The Guardians pushing Tiller right now. They might be trying to get back up to the 5 of Street Machine before they really start fighting here, and I believe that will be what goes on. Rub has gone around the 19 of Warpig. Meanwhile, your front three will remain the same, but Jose Poche now has two Gibbs Toyotas hard on his tail, and one of them stabbing to the inside. There goes Stuha. Will DB follow? Yes is the answer. Will they make it 3? No. Oh, but they'll both get around the 4 Jose Protege and move into 3rd, 4th respectively. And now the group of 3, with a couple of laps to go here in the stage, might try to do something. But first, Jose Protege with, I believe, DB might be getting off the wall in turn 2. Jose trying to regain the spot, but cannot, and will remain P5 for any moment. But I think this is where the remaining battle is pretty much going to be for the end of the stage. I don't think Patton or Country are going to really be able to gain enough on someone else to make a move for the race lead before the end of the stage. So we'll stick it right here where Jose Poche has gotten underneath the 20 and is going for P4 once again. Side by side through the short chute into turn 2. The 4 car with the position and with the spot now, as he will get back around. The DB to the best. But now they'll go nose to tail, and the 20 will be thinking of a same move right down to turn 3. He'll not go this time. Quite possibly could be waiting for another move, maybe down into turn 4. Thinking about it. Thinking about just not getting clear. Jose's a bit loose. DB's going outside. Now you really got to get really in front of him if you want to make this work if you're a DB here. And he'll actually clear him.
Last lap of the stage. They just took the last lap.
Thank you. Now we're on the last lap of the stage. JB the best back into P4. Now will they try to work together and run down the 18? Or will they go back to battling? DB is off the wall a bit. This is going to give Jose a chance. They're drafting down. The Gibbs Toyota's helping each other down the straightaway. Jose Protege and DB side by side entering the corner here. This is the battle for P4. Patton first, Country Caliber second. They'll remain 1-2 unless a wreck happens here in the final corner. Daha looks like he'll get third. The battle for fourth and fifth. It looks like the 20 will be able to keep spot. He will. He will keep his P4. Jose Protege P5. P6, I believe, is Street
P6
Machine.
Yep.
And then Guardian P7, P8 is Tiller, and then 9th is Rub, and 10th is Warpig for stage number 1. Great racing all around, and that's hopefully what we'll see for the rest of the race. A lot of errors off of turn 2 so far has been the key to the race, is minimizing your errors. We've had one wreck caution early on for the 21. No, wait, the 2, excuse me. But we've also had spins from the 21 and the 42. And yeah. Now as we'll go back for the restart, it'll be Private Patton leading the field down the green. Country Caliber P2, Daha P3, GTR Jose Protege P4, DB the best P5, and we're back underway here at Indianapolis. Patton doesn't get the hugest of jumps, but that inside line, huge advantage on the restarts. He'll keep P1. Daha will get P2 off of Country Caliber, and now DB the best will go for P3. As inside 1, 2, and 3 will now 1, 2, 3 in the race. Behind them, it looks to be jockeying 2, 3 wide. Justin Shackey making a move on Rub, entering turn 3. Street Machine a bit high out the corner. Meanwhile, Private Patton will have the lead with only really the 18 behind him within about half a second here, already off the start. And now the 18 will settle in line, just like just about everyone else. I believe that's the 88 getting a bit high entering turn 1.
Okay.
But
alright.
Don't think we're seeing a whole lot of jockeying back there. No, we are not. Well, couple guys going deep.
Blaney is.
As Blaney trying to make a move, can't. I don't even know where they're gaining and losing in the back of the field anymore. Back up front, the top 3 now, Private Patton, Daha Jr., and DB the best, and those 3 will be in the line. Jose Protege, Country Caliber, P4 and P5, notice the tail of Guardian Tiller right behind them. So we'll see if the second group will have a chance at catching the first. I think a couple things will have to happen to the leaders for that to happen, but Jose Protege also looks like he might have a chance at getting the draft of the 20, especially if the 20 makes a mistake in the coming corners here. Looks like he's just content behind the 12 right now. Don't see him being too aggressive. Same with the 20. They're all giving each other space as well, which you like to see, not making too many huge risks early in the stage. especially with a whole nother, with this stage and the whole back half of the race pretty much to go. As, oh, and a hard hit off the wall, forward and one. He'll end up behind the 95 of Country Caliber in the field behind him now, going to jockey for battle, rub to the inside, but he won't have draft, so I don't know where he'll end up. I think he's going to end up in between Tiller and Blaney, although Tiller looks like he had to let off early, but Tiller keeps the spot. Blaney around the outside as Rub gets a bit loose, and Hunty will have to stay in the back of that line. Meanwhile, DB, now the front three getting a bit closer together as Daha especially looking to the bumper to 12. Jose Protege in just about no man's land as the two behind him are battling, actually. That would be Country Caliber and Guardian. Guardian actually getting back around to 95. Now they're back in a straight line. Hunty's trying to make his way back through the field, but he's dealing with battles. There's battles everywhere in this mid-pack. Great racing back here. We might just stay here for a while. Oh, and a hard hit for Trasty into turn 3. Justin Shackett now a bit off the draft as well. I don't know if those two made contact or if something else happened.
We did.
And there's your confirmation right there. Meanwhile, mid-pack's gone back single file. Daha and the rest of the top three still single file and now pulling away by a decent bit from the rest of the field, actually. As Jose Protege is really going to be a non-player as he continues to not have drafting help from the two drivers behind him. As well as the top three probably having more speed down these straightaways with the more draft going to that group than any of the other groups in the probably the top 10, I would even say, at this point. Because the mid-pack's all jockeying together, so they're probably not going to be getting huge runs. So I'm thinking you're looking at the three fastest cars, and they're just going to be staying in a line right here. Justin Shackett down pit road. First green flag pit stop of the day. Real early 40-48. Now, there is the thought of this potentially being a fuel-saving stage with about 19 laps of fuel, I believe you're given, and 22 laps to run. So we could see a couple of fuel-saving gears come into play here, as you can do that with the ability to change the gear ratios fairly freely. As the main battles now come towards the back of this pack. Long live the sauce, leading a group of about 5 cars that were 2x2, but now they're looking like just guys on the high side trying to get around. Street Machine, Warpig will, Hunty will once again relinquish his spot, and I have a feeling he might be the driver that tries to stay back and save, as he's not really been aggressive, and he's had a fast car when he's kept it straight, so I think he could be up to something. Definitely the type of driver that would be up to something in this scenario. Jose Protege now slowly getting reeled in by the one to Guardian, while the top three still refuse to battle. And the Guardian's actually pulled away from Country Keller, and right as we are mentioning him, he hits the wall out of turn 4. So, commentator's curse, I guess, there. Meanwhile, a couple more mid-paddle battling. The Penske duo with Tiller and Blaney. Blaney getting help from the fresh tires of the 48. If those are fresh tires, that could just very well be a gas and go stop from the 48, and I would not be surprised if it was, if you are going to make a stop here. Back up at the front of the field, Private Patton will still lead Daha and DB the best. Nothing's changed there. GTR Jose Protege P4, Guardian P5, P6 Country Caliber 7, Tiller 8, Blaney 9, Sauce, and top 10 is Rubonum. Excuse me. And the rest of the field will file is behind with Street Machine, Hunty, Warpig, Travesty, and Justin Shackett. And I'm probably forgetting someone. No? Somehow I'm not. Alright. Cool. Something that could be brewing up here for P4 in a moment. Guardian slowly reeled in Jose Protege now in his draft very securely. And there'll be nose to tail probably down the straightaway right here, if I had to guess. Although Jose will get the better run at the corner this time, so they won't be nose to tail. They'll still, but the Guardian will still keep looking for maybe a spot to go around, or maybe they'll just sit behind each other, see if they have any chance of making ground in the top three, especially as those three might be getting towards battling towards the end of the stage. We'll see as they get real nose to tail first time. Block, and there is Guardian going double below the white line. Normally a pit signal for those you don't know. That's how deep he went, but I think that time he's just trying to get around the four, who's blocking just about as much as you could block at this track. And we'll see. No, they're both going to pit. All right. So I was wrong. It is a signal down the pit lane, and Country Caliber will follow into 95. Tiller goes, and now there's battling going on. As Long Live the Sauce gets around Blaney Rub as well, using Justin Shack, who's already pitted. Straight Machine will remain behind all of that. And we'll see how this pit cycle levels out. Did not get a chance to see if the top three are signaled at all. We will probably see if any of them get down right here. We're going to keep an eye on your leader for any time being, just to see if any of them make pit stops. None this lap. None this lap, as at this point they don't have someone down for just about an entire straightaway now, with the rest of the field behind them pitting. But now lap traffic going to be a factor. Jose Protege, Guardian sandwiching the two leaders. And I think Protege might be attempting to let the two leaders go. No, he won't. Not enough space. So no one signaled that time out of the front too. I did not get to see if DB signaled or not. But now you got to really see if if everyone does end up pitting, how much will the fresh stuff, if they got fresh stuff, help drivers like Jose Protege and Guardian. And what happened to... Oh, the 18 is down pit road. Alright. So P2, provisional P2 down pit road. We'll see if he stays there or not. Could also have some speeding errors coming. Private Pad now ducking behind the one of the Guardian. He might be making his move this lap, or just trying to use the draft of the one car to gain a bit more time on the 18. Well, if the one gained the time, I think he might just have to send it down pit lane. Doesn't this time. He'll stay out another lap. DB will do the same. The 18 out of pit road and on the access road. He'll pull out still in front of Jose Protege and Guardian. And very well now with the fresh tires, could be in position to take the race lead. Still got to watch out for drivers Zaven, as it is within the same window as mentioned previously. Now I don't think Patton was really able to say. I think he'll have to come down here if we're being honest. And the first person I could really see maybe trying to pull a save might be the 20, as he's dropped off tremendously since the pack split up by quite a few seconds, in fact. Warpig also down pit road now in the 19, and so is Street Machine in the 5. Meanwhile, a bit of a battle between cars that have already pitted. Rub, Blaney, Sauce, and Hunty. I actually don't know if Hunty's pit yet. He might have. And Warpig opts to go down both pit lane exit roads, either to be with this draft or here's maybe attempting to let them by without running into them with the early exit that you are allowed. You are allowed to exit in 1 and 2. We've seen just about everyone else do that. And now more battle in this. Sauce nearly 3 wide between Sauce, Blaney, and Hunty back there, but they'll remain level-headed. Private Pad now is dropped all the way back behind Country Caliber, and he either needs to save or he needs to get down like pronto. And yeah, he still remains out there. We will see how. Have you pit yet, Trav?
No, I haven't pit yet.
Right. Can you give me the laps to go when you come by here?
6. The leader's going to come to 5 to go.
Alright, 5 to go. So Private Pen is going to have to make his pit stop in the upcoming laps if he is going to do so. We will see. DB also in a similar scenario. They were provisional P1 and P3 before the pit stops, I would imagine. If neither of them can make it, they'll drop backwards a considerable amount, I would have to assume. Meanwhile, looking at who would effectively be the leader if they both have to pit, and that would be Daha, I would have to imagine being faster on the fresh stuff. Out ahead of Jose Protege by a decent bit. And Pan will elect to rain out another lap. And we're just playing a strategy game at this point. Now, if Private Padden can make it, that's going to trap a lot of people a lap down as well. Because a lot of these guys did pit, especially a lot of them were all in one sequence as well, right behind Jose, Guardian, Country Caliber. There was a lot more behind them in that pit cycle. And there might be a signal from the 20 right there. The 12, sorry, not the 20. Private Pen might be pinning this lap. Made a bit of a move down to the inside. We didn't go all the way down, so we'll see, but I did also misread Jose and Guardian's signal. And yep, that is the 12. That is the provisional leader before the pit stop cycle down pit road. DB the best, way back in the field, back behind Justin Shackety. He's dropped a long way off, but he's definitely in save mode. You could tell everyone's just breezing by him at this point. And this is where the use of a save gear, as I mentioned previously, would be coming in handy for him.
Yeah, I should have done mine earlier, but Sauce, who's going into turn 2, he is the leader right now.
And all that. Then, the new leader, as DB in hardcore save mode, trying to make it to the end of the stage. If he can do that, it'll still be a huge gain. I honestly don't even know who's battling
And
who
now
at this
Hunty's the leader.
Alright, so Hunty now leads the field. The scenes at Indianapolis, and I believe that is Sauce down pit road. So all that's saving for just about nothing from the 21. How many laps left?
I'll let you know.
Alrighty, Hunty Wild, your leader, coming back from that early wreck. Well, wrecks plural in stage 1. Now the leader, if he can make it to the end of the stage on this fuel save, he will take the lead of this race, and I would imagine restart in the lead as well, which is a huge momentum boost. We will see. As Hunty off the back of the 40, I believe. Hunty's going to try and make a move to try to put the 48 of Shaq the lap down. Blaney also making a move around both of them. Now Justin back underneath Blaney. And now they'll be battling. And there goes Justin Shackett back underneath Hunty. 2 by 2. Down the back straightaway. Shackett will be able to take his lead lap position back from the 42. And Blaney's around Hunty as well.
I'm out of gas.
3 car out of gas. 22. Looks like he's trying to get out the draft. And as we come to the line here, the stage will end. I can't tell if the 22 won based off how he was driving.
He did. He won.
Blaney wins the stage. Hunty P2. And I'd have to assume that P3 might go to the 20. As a lot of the field is still finishing up their laps here.
If I'd only done that a few laps earlier, I probably would have had enough to get a top 10.
Yeah, real unfortunate there. So, yeah, I honestly have no clue what the stage is here because of all the strategy and stuff, so don't expect me to give you a rundown like stage 1.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and run it down real quick. We got Blaney, Hunty, and DB the best to the top 3, and then Private Patent, Jose Protege, Guardian, Country Caliber, Street Machine, and Tiller rounding out your top 10.
So yeah, an absolute shake-up of the field, especially towards the front, as we have Blaney and Hunty, who wrecked early in this race, now back up at the front, and they will be the 2 that will lead this field back to green with DB in third. Patton fourth. As get to it. There we go. Blaney leads them down and will take the lead in the corner. Now DB will get P2. Jose Protege will get a chance back at P3, and we will get there. Hunty's off the wall and going backwards. And now more wrecking. Just about avoid a huge wreck out of turn 2. Patton, Guardian, everyone says it. They're still banging 3 wide in the corner. Hunty's way up high. And this an absolute ripple effect that has just gone through the entire field, starting with the 42 coming off the wall in turn 2. And now that's DB going for a move on Blaney, and they're going to go 3. They're going to go 3. Jose couldn't make it. Now Guardian, and it's just side by side throughout the field. DB the best, still trying to get the lead over Blaney. Guardian now in P3. Daha back to P4. Down the line, 3 cars in the outside. Blaney's still going to try to maintain his hold on the race. I think he just maybe got clear. He did. He's going to hold on to the lead. Now Daha might be looking past 20. They'll keep it nose to tail. Penn's actually been able to work his way back to P6 in the back of that line. Country Caliber P7 leading the second pack. And that won't be the last you'll see of moves on the 22. I have a feeling most of the pack in the front wants to get around him. But Blaney is also fast. He had P2 to start this race in terms of qualifying, only behind 4 of Protege. And there's DB, just absolutely freight trains the 22 down into the corner. Guardian maybe tries to send, doesn't really get it. I don't know if they gain or lose spots at all. Meanwhile, Jose Protege now underneath the 22. And now the 22 will reclaim the spot. And now, actually, Jose Protege left out to dry, and the 1 gets back around. And now Blaney makes a dive at the 18. And maybe makes a move for the 20. Meanwhile, Pan was able to get around Jose Protege for top 5 spot once again. Guardian down on the inside of the 18. So the 2 Gibbs Toyotas now split up for really the first time in a while in this front pack. So we'll see what the moves are made. DB goes to block the inside. Blaney hangs around the outside. Will Blaney be able to get the run off? Not the moment. DB still holding on, and now Blaney's trying to keep momentum. Can't really do it. And now DB will actually be able to get some space and will hug it down to the inside to cancel off the draft of the rest of the pack. Blaney's now got to run from drivers behind him, and he's going to make another move. He's going to dive it all the way down and moves him off the line. Guardian makes it 3 wide out of turn 1. DB's in the wall. Jose Protege ends up backwards as he ends up in the wall from Patton. Guardian takes the lead. Duh, now looking for P2. He will not get there. Now Jose Protege back with Country Caliber battling for 6th and 7th. Really the big effect of all that, other than swapping positions and giving Guardian his first lead of the race. So good for him there, but Blaney's been probably the most aggressive guy when he's been up front here, as we've seen, especially in this stage alone. Will he make a move right here? No, I don't. He stays a bit more off the 1 car this time. Doesn't immediately go back for another move. Now we're more back to single file at the moment. We'll see if anyone makes a move down to turn 3 right here. Front 5 will keep it straight. Now Blaney probably has a thought about it in turn 4, but can't really do nothing about it. Guardian covers it off quite well. I know Daha wants to get the 20 back with him so they can start making moves again as a duo like they had been doing. Blaney, a bit of bumper action to the 1. Now Blaney's going to just use the bumper and bump draft. With not much else really going. Patton I think he had a chance to dive at the 18. Now it really only ends up with the 20 being, I think, even into the wall. But he's going to be able to get back up to the draft, I would think. Not too far off. Him and Patton will both be able to climb back up to the top 3 drivers. And now we're back to Ryan. Long live the sauce way off the field. He must have had a spin or a wreck at some point in all the chaos that had transpired. Hunty way back on the edge of the top 10. I think that's P9 he's battling for. He's looking at right now, or looking for P8. But after getting all that track position from the fuel save, he ends up just going backwards, back to just about where he was, I would have to say. So unfortunate there. And we're going to keep the leaders as now Pat might be milking him for a move to P3. Thought the team might have gotten in the wall there. I don't know. Patton's seemed to have taken the brunt of whatever's happened between the two of them and dropped back a bit. And we will remain single file. And I think now with all the chaos that's going on, I think we could easily be seeing this ride out until pit stops happen. Which, I mean, to be fair, I'll take catching my breath a bit after a chaotic start to the stage. Although I think I say that.
You're jinxing it because 8th and 9th is getting rowdy.
I saw that in the back of my eye. I was like, gosh darn it. I had to say something about it. So Hunty's now looking like he might be one to get around the 2. We'll see if that comes to fruition in the upcoming laps. Travesty in 10th. Looking low, but we'll slot back in the line. And you know, I turn away from 1 second at the front pack, and Daha's making a move for P2. Gosh darn it. I don't know if Daha, he's still going to be the inside of Blaney here. With the favored line, Blaney's actually really high up. And he'll just slot into P3. Patton's really not close enough to make a move for that 3rd spot from Blaney.
Oh, Hunty got loose.
Meanwhile, back to the battle in the back, just about, as Tiller and Street Machine now going for P8 together, side by side. And Street Machine will be able to clear the 2. Blaney and Patton going back down the inside of Daha. Now, if the 20 gets back to this fight, I would expect him to go with Joe Gibbs 18, as he has been doing all racing. And yeah, it looks like he favored going to the high side, although that could just be for corner entrance. Blaney slides up. They're going to be 3 wide out. Daha hard in the wall. And he'll slide all the way back to P5 and will just try to grab onto the draft. Blaney forces his way back up to P2 after losing it moments ago. And meanwhile, this is like Guardian gets some distance. Country Caliber either single in the pit or takes a hard lick in the wall after getting loose off the corner. We will take a look at the scenario here. As yeah, it looked like it was just a racing scenario. And now it looks like we've seen it split up between 2 Penske's going nose to tail, P2 and P3, and the Gibbs going P4, P5, and then that's followed by the 4 and the 95, P6 and 7, all trying to run down the 1 car in P1 of the Guardian.
Well, I think my lucky rabbit's foot just got used up. My controller disconnected, which is AK my wheel, and it let me get back in no problem, but that was... I've never had that happen before.
Well, that is extremely fortunate there.
Especially since it was in the straightaway and not in the turn.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and DB's the first to pull his car down pit road. Well, actually second. Justin went down the lap 4. But now you're seeing multiple cars duck down there. I saw Hunty down there. It looks like it's just those 2 at the moment. So yeah, you do have to make a stop here, and I think a lot of drivers are going to opt for green flag stops, not wait on the caution, especially as we're now spread out and it's going to be hard to get a caution. So we'll see how this cycle plays. And I think that is a smart move from the 20 being that last car in the line to be the first one down pit road, force the others to make a choice as when to pit, whether they go and give up their spot in line to you, but you also would then have to defend on older tires later on if you're the 20. So this is where you'll see strategy get interesting, as Daha is just like, screw strategy, I want the spot now. You'll get underneath Patton and take the spot. Give me that P3. And now the front two, that's the 2 leaders, Guardian and Blaney. They both signaled. That is definitely a signal, I can tell you that. They will be coming this lap, provisional P1 and P2. The hand has been forced. Now we'll see if when Patton in the 18 will make a similar move. And, oh, Daha, they hit Blaney! Blaney's around on the entrance of pit road. I think Daha's definitely had the speed there. He came in flying. Blaney's lost a whole bunch of time.
I almost came down pit road right there. Oh, man.
Absolutely insane scenes down pit road. And, well, I actually believe the 48 is the first retiree of the race. He has yet to move from pit road since I last mentioned him. So, yeah, that's probably him out the race. Or taking a break and going to Applebee's or something. We will see. As quick pit stops. Looks like it's either 2 or none. Daha somehow not speeding. Don't know how in the country mile he managed that one, but fair enough. Street Machine, Trav, and I think Rub's trying to make his way down pit road. Should really check up. Oh, yep, there's Pat and Jose. Down, I believe. The leader at the moment might be Country Caliber.
And just to confirm, Shackett is out of the race. He was ghosted coming down pit road.
Yeah, I figured. He's been down there for like 3 laps now. He's definitely out the race. So, Pat now coming out pit road. We'll see where he comes out in relation to the 1 car of the Guardian and D-Bay, who's gone right back to the bumper of the 1. They'll both be well clear, and I think Daha is also going to be clear to 12 by over a second. Well, a second I would probably say. But, and yeah, now in the 18, knowing the scenario is just not going to give Patton any chance at the draft here. Just duck it way down on the backstretch. And I think now we'll pull it back to the 1 and the 20 as the 20 on old tires.
Right now the 95 is the leader.
Yeah, I don't. The 95's not pit yet, so I'm not particularly concerned about him at the moment. Okay. Once everyone's gone through their cycle, I'll request a lap count. As there's Sauce, the lap car in front of the leaders, making a signal down for pit road. As Guardian and DB's ran down. Now, more importantly, Daha and Patton behind have linked up, so if these front two get to battle in here, they'll have a chance, although now they'll go side by side. And Patton will take the spot for... Yeah, he'll take it for good. Thought he might have got crossed over by Daha there. He does not. And alright, so I can do that to swap between the two battles. Good to know. And it's this scenario that takes us to the end of the race. Guardian P1, DB P2, Patton P3, Daha P4. The 20 on the oldest tires. Patton Daha trying to run down the 2 leaders. A lot of 2 leaders fight. I would have to presume at least they would be fighting at some point. I do believe that Patton is gaining on the 2 leaders. Him and Daha. They're nose to tail. I think they'll probably get in the DB's draft in a moment, and once they do that, Guardian is just going to have to block for his life. Back behind the top 5, well, top 4, I believe Jose Protege is 5th at the moment. Up and... Well, I don't blame you, Sauce. I do not blame you one bit. Have fun doing that. As Country Caliber is now coming out the pits, back in P6. Blaney has found a home back battling for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th after his pit road calamity. And meanwhile, DB has been caught and is getting passed by Patton and Daha. Now I think DB is just going to try to hold on to the back of his pack, secure P4, because if he loses that, I think Jose on the front tires will be able to run him down fairly quickly, I would have to presume. And now what does 12 do? And now is the time where I'll ask for a lap count, or laps to go.
7 to go.
7 to go for the race. Guardian now Patton P2. And this is where things will heat up. At the front is field. Top 3. Bumper to bumper. DB just trying to hold on to the draft as much as he can. Patton and Daha formulating their moves on the 1 car. The 1 car trying to figure out where he has to block in this scenario. And I think if you're a 1, you have to protect your inside. That is rule number 1 at this track, is keep the inside line. It is your best friend, and if you let someone else have it, it's your greatest enemy. Patton's definitely looking, not being able to make a move, so we're now down to 6 to go. Now a bit of distance between Guardian and Patton. That'll be regained. And Patton's looking. Does he have the space? He'll slide up. Now Daha might be looking. Daha is looking. They'll stay in the same line. In the end of all that, couple chances for drivers to make moves, but they keep single file just about. Now as we look into turn 1, Penn. Now he's going to go for a move. Does he have the inside? He does not. Looks for it again. Guardian blocks. 5 to go. We've raced for 175 miles. It's coming down to the last 25 here at Indianapolis. The crowd on their feet as they see the top 4. Bumper, Daha to the inside for P2. And he will get in turn 4. A crisp move through the entry of 3, cleans it up at turn 4, and he's now in the catbird seat of this race. And immediately looks to maybe try to get a better arc in the corner than Guardian by staying up high on the entry. Does not, but he'll settle and fight for another day back down in turn 3. We're now down to 4 to go at this point in the race, as Guardian blocking the inside. Blocks the corner. Nice line. He'll keep control of the race through these two corners, I would have to presume. As they come out of turn 4, heading down to 3 to go. The laps locking down the squarely line. The draft line's moving now. Patton's going to take the opportunity to dive it up the inside of Daho once again. And he'll take the spot in turn 1. Clean as a whistle through a corner for Private Patton. The points leader looking to add another win to the season. Time running out if you want to make a run for the lead. Patton with a bumper to the 1, pushing him as hard as he can. Now a bit of space has developed. Patton looks. Guardian's able to block it off this time. Through 3. Through 4, they remain single file. They're coming down to 2 to go here. Daha looks to the inside. Will the 20 go with him? Oh, the side draft. There goes the 20. Guardian goes to block the inside. He has to in this scenario. Guardian keeps the lead. Daha will take P2 once again. And now the conga line will be back with the 18 in the capper seat once more. A lap and a half to go. They'll start swirling inside, outside. Where are you going to make your move? Daha trying to block Patton. Patton's going to try to make a move. He cannot. 3 and 4. They're battling for P2. Guardians just managing the scenario up at the front of the pack. They're the down the straightaway as we head to the final line. Down towards the wall. There goes Daha. Daha and the 18 side by side. He finally has a good chance to get the lead from Guardian. He'll get there. Patton. He'll look for P2. He'll get it now. Patton will stay the inside. Will he try to get to the 18? Doesn't have a chance. Now let him go. Inside, outside, down the back straightaway for the final time. All 4 of them squirreling back and forth. Patton maybe tries to move on the outside here. Tries to get the side draft. Guardian, will he force the issue? Patton around the outside. They're side by side. Daha up the track. Into the wall. There goes Patton. Guardian's taking the lead. Daha's wrecked hard into the wall. DB's in P2. DB will not be able to get him out the final corner to Guardian in the 1 car. Will take the last lap pass to win at the Brickyard. DB P2, Patton P3. I want to say Jose is P4 if he didn't have to go down pit road. He is. Daha Rex in the final corner, trying to defend the lead. And the Guardian, shades of Kyle Busch 2013 at Auto Club, goes from P3 to P1 in the final corner to steal a win at Indianapolis. What a finish to that race. And I'm sure everyone was just about on their seats through that. We'll get a full rundown for you in a moment.
I've got it.
I've also got one from Country Caliber.
Okay.
Guardian P1, DB P2, Patton P3, Protege P4, Blaney P5, Street Machine P6, Hunty P7, Daha P8, Taylor P9, Caliber P10, and P11 Trav, P12 Warpig, 13 Rub, 14 Sauce, and Justin Shackett with the DNF in P15. Now we will get interview set up. Patton's already invited to this chat. Trav, if you don't mind, so I don't have the blue screen, can you invite Guardian and DB the Best, if you don't mind?
Yep, I'll try here.
Alrighty. Alright, no need to finish that message. You were already here. Alright.
Yeah, you started a party with me, and I was just like, I'm already in one, but yeah, that's fine. Let's. I do not have DB, but I do have Guardian, so I can add him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Taddy told me that you were going to be my IRR, but I guess he never relayed it to you, or...
He never told me, so...
Yeah, I probably should have asked as well, but it is what it is. And you know what? While you're here and we're waiting for others to get in, I don't know who else is in here yet and whatnot, but we'll start with your interview as you were P3 in the race. So, absolutely wild finish there between you and Daha. So, take me like what's going on through your head in the last like 10 to 15 laps there.
Well, to be fair, let me just start this off by saying excellent win, Guardian. Long time coming, but I thought I had it, honestly. The pit stops. Let's start with there. As soon as I saw all three, I knew that Guardian and Blaney were gonna pit, but I didn't know Duh as well, and I did an audible and was just like, okay, if Duh pits, I'm staying out, and if he doesn't pit, I am. So when I saw him dive down pit road, I was just like, all right, I'm staying out, and there was some kind of contact going on in there. It was not a fun day to be a Blaney, I'll say that. But yeah, he got absolutely plowed going on the pit lane. But I wanted to be P3. I did not want to be P2 because I feel like first and second are the most vulnerable positions. P4 has too many cars in order to pass, but P3 is that sweet spot. As in, like, saying you can pick up the pieces, because you know when P2, if you pay,
Yes, hear me?
if P2 and P1 are side by side, then P3 can pick up the pieces, and that's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I moved to P2 one lap too early, and because of that, I don't know what happened there, but I was gonna try to make the outside work, going in at 3 and 4, and then I see an 18 car just door me. So it'd be like that sometimes. So I mean, I still get a decent result out of it. P1 in first stage, P5 stage 2, P4 actually, I think, and then P3 to round it all out. So I'll take it. I mean, solid points night. And yeah, like I said, good race, guys.
Yep, definitely a great race to help your points lead grow even more. And you were probably the most consistent car up at the front all night, I would probably have to say. You were always up there, other than the stage 2 where there was a bit of fuel strategy going on.
You know, I'm not good with that. I'm not good with that.
But someone who did manage that is our P2 finisher, DB the Best in Stage 2, was able to get a P3 off of that and then finishes out the race in P2. Walk me through your perspective of the race.
I mean, honestly, my car was awful. Like, I was tight and loose at the same time. Like, I had no business even being up towards the front of the field, and somehow things just played out my way. The second stage, I got lucky because we got a 3-car breakaway there, and I was able to just sit there and save fuel. And then once I got to the point where I needed to throw it in fuel-saving gear and really start saving, I did that. And fortunately, the guys behind me caught me that were saving in a pack, but I'm happy with the third in the stage and second in the race.
Yes, that would definitely be What about that last stage where you're on the oldest tires and you're just trying to hang on for dear life, and then at the last lap, Pat and Daha get tangled up, and you're just able to slip through to grab P2 from thin air. Walk me through that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was hanging on for dear life. My car in the second half of a run was just not good, and the fact that I was even able to stay in the draft, I was kind of surprised by. And then when I saw the chaos unfold, I was actually like, for a second, I thought I was going to get a chance to get a run on Guardian, but my car got way too loose coming out of four. So I'm like I said, I'm happy with what happened for me because I did not think I had a car that should have even been in the top three.
Yeah, but I mean that's what racing is at the end of the day. You don't race on paper, you race on a track, and you definitely showed that. Not always the fastest car that does well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
And finally, yeah, we will move to our race winner, Mr. Guardian.
Guardian.
Yes, sir. You got me?
Yes, I do, I believe. So, first off, long time no talk since Sunday.
Yeah.
And second off, just what a race from you. You I think really early on you were all the way back in like P7, P8, and you just worked your way slowly back up, got to the lead off the final pit stop, and then you were able to you were just holding on for a while, right? And then you get past in the last lap, and you're just sitting there, just like, oh, I've blown it. And then turn 3 happens, and you're just able to steal it away. Walk me through like the last like 10 laps, 10
Great
or so
win,
laps.
Guardian. Fueled up
Yeah,
motorsports.
like Patton said, when you're the leader, you're just a sitting duck, man, with the draft. And if they get bunched up behind you in any sort of way, they just get such big runs on you, and if you try to block them, you're just gonna wreck everybody. So a lot of the guys were actually kind of giving and taking a lot
Go fueled
until
up.
probably about 5 to go. Then I saw Daha start to make some moves, and he was making a lot of moves tonight. He plowed through Blaney going on a pit road, and then he went through Patton there at the end. I didn't want to try to block him there after he went down low. I just knew that if I snuck in front of, I think it was DB the best, if I snuck in front of him and I didn't let him get inside of me, I could get a draft and hopefully pull back up on him if something happened, and thankfully something happened, and I was able to snake my way through there and
Way to
ended
holla.
up with a win. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I feel like I should have won a few races already, and I kind of let a couple slip away, but yeah, really happy to win tonight. Happy for the fueled up guys. We all ran well tonight. Blaney ran well until he had that speeding penalty on pit road and all that, but yeah, it was a really fun race.
Yeah, to be fair to Blaney, I don't think that was necessarily his fault, but
No, absolutely no. He was giving me room on pit road, and I kind of backed it up maybe a little bit early just to make sure that I wasn't speeding. And I looked in my mirror and I saw that he was giving me plenty of room, and then all of a sudden he just accelerated out of nowhere, and that's obviously because he got plowed in the back. So, it is what it is. I mean, we race with each other every single week. I don't know why some of these guys just do this week after week after week. I mean, it's a give and take thing. You got to give room, and hopefully later on you'll get room. And I mean, I race people the way that they race me. That's the way I've always raced, and I've had a couple issues with him, but lately we've been okay. But yeah, it is what it is. It sucks for Blaney. I hate it for him. He had a really fast car, and it was nice having him in my mirror and not those other guys.
yeah, well, still, anyways, congrats on what I'm presuming, based off of what has been said, probably your first one of the season at least here for B Customs.
Yep.
So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And thank you to all that watched this evening as we're wrapping up here. Guardian P1, DB the best P2, Patton P3. As this is GC Sports, we are signing off from Indianapolis, and we will see ya.